If you're hearing this, then you've obviously seen the title. Some serious neglect, maybe a little bit of eager trigger finger, definitely some lack of communication, and just all around laziness has and will continue to kill the ARK survival evolved population. So as Eminem said it best,
so let's talk about it.
Dear WILDCARD, let's talk about it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trick King. I may not nearly be as big as other content creators such as ShaneTheShadow or HOD, Get Jacked, Shockist, or many others, but I still want to make this video because, like many others, I have thousands of hours invested in ARK. I have a love for the game. And what happened to Get Jacked, what's happened to me in the past, what we actually currently have a ticket in for hackers, which I have proof and I'll show you later in this video. The lack of action, or too much action, concerns me, and it should concern you as well, because what happened to Get Jacked, what's happened to the Berry Seals in the past, what's happened to many others being meshed or aimbotted or DDoSed, can happen to any of us, and it ruins the game. And that's why it affects every single one of us who play this game for the love of the game. So let's talk about Get Jacked situation. So I did some digging, and how is this possible? A streamer asked, based on aberration map above the fire line allowed, can you build on metal structures here and place cliff platforms high enough to not take damage from the fire? And a dev responds 2 days later, September 10th of 2018, saying, as for the dinos, as long as it's not used for griefing, we are fine with it. Smiley face, as long as the bases are not under mesh, you should be okay. Let that sink in for a minute. The devs were told about this on September 8th of 2018. On September 10th, they respond and say, yeah, you can do it as long as it's not used for griefing. We're okay with it. As long as the base isn't under meshed, you should be okay. Look what happened to Jack. He should be okay, though. The devs need to figure their stuff out. The left hand is not talking to the right hand. Especially when the dev who wipes Get Jacked says, as a reminder, building in places that weren't intended to be built in is still a violation of the code of conduct. So 2 devs, 2 different answers, and he gets wiped for it. Even though the answer that was previous, the one that was asked in September 8th, and then responded in September 10th, that dev said it was okay, you should be okay. But then he turns around and gets dev wiped. Hundreds and hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. And I don't even know Get Jacked. I don't even really know him. I've talked to him, I think maybe once in a Discord. I've had no real interaction for him, and I'm going to come to bat for him and say that that's bullshit. That is utter bullshit. And that's the proof right there. One dev says it's okay. One dev, after wiping the base, then lets everybody know that it's not. It's frustrating, and I feel bad for Get Jacked. I've been dev wiped before. When I was with Berry Seals, we got dev wiped. We had guys under mesh, a cave. When we figured out what happened, we did the same thing. We got rid of them and completely cut all ties for them, kicked out of Discord, kicked out of all the tribes on every server. And the devs still came back 2 days later and wiped us, even though we followed their code of conduct by when you find someone that's exploiting the game or breaking the rules, you cut all ties with them and no longer play with that player, or you might, receive consequences. And when we follow that, they still dev wiped us. So I feel for you, Get Jacked. And I think from the response of other content creators, like the few ones I've named, there's a petition going around. I've signed it. there needs to be justice for Get Jacked. What happened was not okay, and why it concerns me as much as it does is because this could happen to me on my tribe at any time. We're doing something that we have no idea is wrong, or we ask and we get permission, just like that one streamer did, and then 20 days later we get dev wiped for it. So I think if you need any more information on this, obviously Get Jack's channel has a video out on it. ShaneTheShadow went on a rant. Good on you, man. It was a hell of a video, and yeah, the lack of action from the devs, which I'll show in this next part, or too much action, like what happened to Get Jacked, or myself in the past, and a few others, obviously, is just, it's ridiculous. There needs to be some conversation. They need to talk to the people that are playing their games, that are paying for them. They need to fix the things that are happening. We got undermeshed on 6-man. We were in Hard Ice Cave on the island, and we got undermeshed. And we put in tickets, and we haven't heard any answers yet. That was almost a month ago, and we haven't heard anything. We put in tickets, submitted them, and nothing. So the pick and choosing of action here is just, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if you haven't heard any of those videos yet, I recommend you go check them out, because they say it way better than I do. Part 2 of this video is the lack of action that goes on in the community, and I mean that wholeheartedly. They'll go ahead and dev wipe Get Jacked for building in a place that they allowed. They didn't fix the game. They just constant release of content and new maps and DLCs, and it is just cash grabbing. And they won't fix climbing picks so you can climb into the mesh. They won't fix the aimbotters, the DDoS. I mean, all these games out there, CSGO and other shooting games, they have ways and security to prevent this from happening. You know, CSGO has VAC bans. You get a VAC ban, and it's a permanent ban. It's something that it transfers over to other games. There's heavy consequences that land it unless they just replace an entire Steam account. I mean, there's ways to do this. We messaged Valor. I mean, we sent out tickets. I sent out tickets 4 weeks ago for getting undermeshed, and nothing happened. I still have yet to receive a response. And sadly enough, the only way that anyone knows how to even get a hold of a dev is through Salt Discord, which, if you think about it, a Discord that has no relation to Ark Survival Evolved, a Discord that's made for just trolling other players of Ark and trash talk, is the best way to get a hold of a dev. That's a whole different subject. But we got a hold of the devs, and as you can see here in the photos, Valor just says, you didn't submit your ticket right, or you need to report them for cheating. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing you cheaters. I'm handing you a platter with a cheater on it. Here's videos of them doing it, and these are the videos we sent. those are the videos we sent them. We've yet to get any reaction or any consequence for them, so they're just still terrorizing the server, killing tames left and right. It's people like this that are ruining the game. So this is not one of my normal videos. I know there are people out there, to my subscribers, this isn't something that I normally do, but I had to voice my opinion on this. Something's got to be done, and I think that better communication with the community, and maybe just some guidelines for these devs so they don't, you got a dev saying it's okay, you can build there, you got a dev saying it's not okay, and then, you've got players that are reaching out and saying, look at these cheaters that are killing us and terrorizing us and raiding us and taking away hundreds of hours combined in these servers, thousands of hours once you get further ahead. And I just felt like I had to get my opinion out there. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, join the gang. But definitely, if you could share this video, let's get the word out there. I heard that Justice for Get Jacked should be trending on Twitter here shortly if it's not already. So let's change this up. Let's make this game what it could be and what it should be. So anyways, my name's Trick King, and I'm out.